How we doing? You doing all right?
Good. Do a double take with the. It's like
I didn't recognize you.
Yeah.
If you can go back a year ago, you guys were transitioning, so many other things going on, getting settled in. What stands out for you now, having this time up under your belt and kind of going forward right now?
I think the biggest thing is the confidence we have in this defense and this room. I think there was a lot of question marks a year ago in terms of what we can and can't do, not just the players in itself, but the coaches. Is we're learning a new system. And so fast forward a year, we've been together for a year. We've got a great group of coaches that we work together with. We know what's in our rooms. We know the job description. And then obviously now, because we know the job description, we know how to, obviously what we need to attack to make sure these guys are going to be successful on Saturdays. So the comfort level and the confidence in our ability to be able to build the best defense we can, I think we have the tools going into fall camp, before fall camp, as opposed to last year still having those question marks of what we can and can't do.
Like, who's really improved as a pass rusher? You look at it and say, okay, they got it now.
Yeah, so that was a point of emphasis. I mean, one thing that we needed to get better at a year ago, we wanted to be able to challenge for a championship around here, and we felt like that was one area that we didn't do very well. We started off okay in the beginning of the season, and then as the season went on, we didn't do a very good job as coaches and obviously as players developing those pass rushers as the season went on. So, end of the season, we identified that. We tried to have some answers and some plans to be able to develop those things. So in terms of who's improving, I think the unit in itself, I think the defense in itself has improved this pass rush. I thought we showed that a little bit in the spring. And then kind of, again, some of the things we're doing right now in fall camp. And so I really like where our interior rush guys are. They're doing a lot of good things inside. That has to do with the package and some of the things we're doing, putting them in positions to win, be able to utilize the skill sets that some of our players have. So overall, I think that's something that we put an emphasis on. We kind of attacked it in spring, kind of took what we liked, and then we went into fall camp. And I think obviously in the first scrimmage, we liked a lot of good things that showed up.
When you look at the depth on the interior, how much does that help? One, with the ability to rotate guys, but two, just knowing that you've got an anchor there in the middle you can build around.
Yeah, we're pretty fortunate right now. I think we're in a really, really good position in terms of having the numbers inside. I mean, it's a good place to be at. Now, I always tell the guys, give me a reason to rotate you. All right, so the guys are traveling really well. They're working really well. They're traveling together really well. But this is separation week. I want to see who's going to carry the heavy lifting. Like, I don't want to go into a game saying, hey, I got to play everybody because I don't know who the top two dogs is. I want to be able to come out of this fall camp and say, hey, these are the two guys we're going to do the heavy lifting with, and then these guys here, give me a reason why you need to play.
And so, with that position in particular, I mean, with the wear and tear that they get, do you have an ideal, I guess, number of snaps you want to do with each guy? Or?
No, not necessarily going into a game. I think, like I said, with the mindset that guys that are going to start off the game, or guys that are going to start off the game, we got a group of guys that we feel like are above the line that's going to help us or not going to help us win football games. And so ideally, you like to take the guys that are doing the heavy lifting. They're going to play until obviously we got a chance to be able to rotate other guys in. I think over the course of the season, because we do got a deep group here, it's going to naturally happen because, again, I think guys that's going to get tired, or if it's on 3-4 plays, well, that guy's fifth play is probably not as good as this guy's first play in terms of the type of energy he's going to play with, the type of effort he's going to play with. So that's the decision we got to be able to make. And I think we're in a really, really good place right now to where we got that situation going for us. Now, I tell the guys that I want to see what kind of, how much gas you got in the tank. That was a big thing going into the scrimmages is how many plays can we get you before I have to sub you, right? And so in terms of no, again, I don't want to play guys 7, 8, 9 plays. We're not built that way. Our lungs ain't built that way. The size doesn't give us a chance to do that. But I do want to know, hey, what's the capacity of somebody, that's playing and when we can start rotating guys.
When you talk about confidence, I'm curious what the source of that is, because when you have a season where maybe some guys had higher expectations, sometimes you can beat yourself up in the off season and hold that. How did your guys build that sort of confidence to be at the status where they're at?
Yeah, well, I think it started off on last year, and it's just for me, is that the fact that you go back to the tape. We're a 5-win team last year, and then you go through the tape, and obviously as us as coaches, as we evaluate and we dissect the tape here, we didn't believe, or I didn't believe that it felt like, well, that was a 5-win team on the field. All right, there's a lot of things we could have got done better. I think those are all fixable things that we can do culturally and technique-wise, call-wise. Now that being in the league, knowing the system a little bit better as a coaching staff, and so that confidence started there, knowing that hey, we have something here. Now, what can we do to make it better in the offseason and give us a year to go around it? So that confidence started in that fact. Now, the confidence started building when these guys came back in January, and I think I said this before after spring. When these guys came back in January, the amount of effort these guys put in and the energy, the effort, the strength coaches, that what they've done with these guys since the spring, and then you fast forward to spring ball, what they did in spring ball, like it was just accumulations of events that happened that, hey, we were confident, and then the action of these guys made us even more confident in what we can be in this unit. Fall camp started off pretty good for us. Then now there's some, we got a long ways to go in terms of in terms of consistently playing winning football. But I think that's part of the process here. We got to know what we're good at. We got to make sure, hey, at times when the offense has the best of us, we didn't win every practice as a defense, and when we didn't, what happened? What do we need to get fixed to make sure that we move on to the next one?
How beneficial is it for you guys to go up against Aiden, seeing a mobile quarterback look?
Yeah, I mean, more than that, that's one of the traits now that we face every day is quarterback. So, yeah, whenever you face a mobile quarterback, I think it's always beneficial for the front, knowing that hey, we got to take our contained rush a little bit higher. Obviously, if we got a pressure, knowing that this guy can bail and he can beat you with your feet, he's going to extend plays. So that's always in the mindset in terms of these guys when they're playing. Now they don't think about it. Hopefully, right? It's just not something that they react knowing that hey, Aiden's going to probably bust. And get out the pocket here a little bit and try to extend and use athleticism here. So just putting ourselves in position. He's also exposed our defense in a chance that, hey, if you take a bad angle, shoot, he's going to extend the play and he hurt us on a long throw. So those things, those little cuts that happen through the course of the season, I think it helped ingrain what we need to ingrain in these guys in terms of, hey, the details of getting to that deep shoulder, the details of knowing, hey, we got a running quarterback as opposed to a quarterback that's in his pocket. So our angle's got to be a little bit different. We got to be disciplined and knowing where our help is, where that next guy is. If I miss, which side can I miss to? Because hey, I can get him to my nearest help. So.
Like, what type of growth have you seen from Jalen Thompson? I think it was Joe Rossi said he kind of just become a guy that could do his job and now can do more than
Yeah.
that.
I think, I mean, from last season, I think the growth that really started with him. I think it was really intrinsic in the fact that I think he knew he was a better football player than what he put on tape last year. And I think he knew it, he felt it, and so it started there. And then now, obviously, for us as coaches, okay, hey, right, we know where you're feeling. This is where obviously we need to continue to get better at. And then building an action plan in terms of how to get him better in the strength room, in the film room, obviously on the field, and then trying to utilize his skill set. He's got a skill set that he's got a position flexibility that he can do a lot of things up front, and at the same time not overwhelming them to where hey, it's too much and he starts to play slow. But I think he's growing in the confidence and the fact that I think he believes he can be one of the best players in the country at that position, and I think he's starting to put the work behind it.
Legi, Jonathan mentioned Derek Simmons a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
Why can he be a special player and can that happen sooner than later?
Well, I think, when we talk about freshmen, man, I think Derek Simmons is not your normal freshman. Does that mean that he's better than the guys we have in our system now? No, that just means, hey, he's a freshman that's come here, he's got a college-ready body physically. He's able to do the things that we can get done, which is different than most freshmen. So, yeah, he's different in that way. Him, I think his approach to things, like he's big, he's strong, he's smart. I think he's really hungry. He's getting him a chance. We got to develop him fundamentally in terms of just how to strike things and certain reactions. Things are a little bit faster here, and guys are a little bit bigger here at this level here. But as a freshman coming in, and some of the tools he already possessed, I mean, not giving him a step ahead than most freshmen that come in that way. So.
What did you get done in the scrimmage? What did you see in the scrimmage? What did you get done? What did you want to get done, and how did it turn out?
Yeah, so one of the things that number one is when we go into scrimmage, man, and this is always a good thing. And I told the group this, man. When we go into scrimmage, I want to see their natural reactions. Right? Like after 10 days of practices, what do we need to get better at? Right? So first things first is like, hey, I want you to play fast, play ball out there, and then we want to be able to identify things that we need to continue to get better at. Right? So coming out of that scrimmage, I thought the front, the two things that I emphasized trying to get out was like we got to be able to get off blocks consistently, and then we got to be able to put ourselves in good tackling postures and the physical tackling postures. We got some hats on the ball in the front, but I thought those runs started fun. Now we got some big backs, but those runs, those extra yardage that come in when they were running the ball, when we got our pad on it, like we got to do a better job of detaching and putting ourselves in a physical position to drive that ball carrier back. Now, going into the scrimmage, I felt like we played with really good effort. I think we talked about being a year, being in the system. I think these guys are really comfortable with the system, and in terms of the defensive system. I think we got some really physical guys up front. I think we have the ability to be really stout in the run game, and then I liked our fact that we were able to disrupt the pass game when we needed to at times. Obviously, as coaches, nothing's perfect. We felt like we could do some more in that area, but coming out there is number one is like we got a lot of playable guys. And then obviously we got some things that we got to identify to continue to get better at. And then number two is that, obviously I think the system, in terms of their confidence in the system, their confidence in the detail of the system, is going to give us a chance to be successful.